Yeah, I got no mercy for the weak, I kill them all, it's R.I.P. to all my enemies. Yeah, they've been dead to me, leveling up, but they turn into casualties. Sharpen my blade if you really wanna act cute. Now you're all mad cause I passed you. Everyone's got opinions, if you're not with the team, I'm like, who asked you? Copy the Moosey and clone my strategy, but it won't work and I swear, so sad to me. This game looks like nothing but tragedies plotting on me, but there's no overlap of me. Yeah, I've been alone, but I might feel stages. Haters get broken, but I can't change it. Don't look at me when your tape ain't playing. It's not my fault you don't fit on the A-list. Young Josh A will body a beat. If I make a move, they copying me. Who knew they bite so obviously? By me, they hate me so ominously. All of my M's independent like Van Halen riders. That's like 10 for the one to the buyer. Could've stopped the LV, but I'm on fire. Yeah, they thought I was done with the rap, but I'm just getting started. They looking at me, I know they see a target, but I know they'll never get close to my artistry. Guys, be nice, they're trying their hardest. It's so pitiful seeing the minimal, trying to make single commas invisible. So forgettable, those subliminals sounding like that's at the top of the pinnacle. Yeah, I got no mercy for the weak, I kill them all, it's R.I.P. to all my enemies. Yeah, they've been dead to me, leveling up, but they turn into casualties. Sharpen my blade if you really wanna act cute. Now you're all mad cause I passed you. Everyone's got opinions, if you're not with the team, I'm like, who asked you? Copy the Moosey and clone my strategy, but it won't work and I swear, so sad to me. This game looks like nothing but tragedies plotting on me, but there's no overlap of me. Yeah, I've been alone, but I might feel stages. Haters get broken, but I can't change it. Don't look at me when your tape ain't playing. It's not my fault you don't fit on the A-list. They hate to see me winning, but when I drop, I know they listen. Back to back, been on a mission, getting plaques with my precision. They've been praying on my downfall, but promise there's no quitting. I just dropped the tape last week, no time for intermissions. Yeah, bad with the fire, I got them addicted. I dropped, they better OD. Yeah, the day I retire.
130 pounds of weight loss. What was it like? How did your life change? And what can people expect as they get into that level of fitness where they make the drastic change and serious weight starts falling off their bodies?
For me, it was such a flip of the switch. Literally, one day, getting out of the shower, it was literally a change of mind. It was literally, I am going to do this no matter what, because I can't live like this any longer. It was such a big deal for me, not playing football that year, playing football all of my life, and then deciding not to play football that year. I knew something had to change because that's what I did for my whole life was football, and playing football at that weight just was not fun. Being 340 pounds, playing football at that weight was not fun. It was not fun being the last person always during conditioning. It was not fun at all, and I knew it was that day. I don't remember the date, but that day, it was a September day. Getting out of the shower, I just knew that flipping the switch. From that day on, I never looked back at what that weight was, and it's almost hard for me to remember that journey because of how easy that flip of the switch was, which is literally sometimes all it takes is just the flip of the switch, and it literally changed my life. And it's just from there was all,
you gain momentum, right?
Yeah,
and it was almost impossible to stop.
It is. It literally is. It becomes. It almost becomes an addiction trying to change your body.
100%.
Like it becomes an addiction trying to change your body, and that's where it kind of comes into. Just it. I've always channeled that energy when I've always gone into the gym, and that's the part that's never left me from being 340 pounds and being now is. Stepping into the gym, that switch is always there from that day on. Kind of going from that.
People don't realize that you can gain momentum in good and bad ways. It's not. Bad addictions are a great example of it. You know, people get into this terrible lifestyle where it's just eating bad food, doing drugs, etc., not getting the physical activity. But your addictions and your momentum can be gained through fitness, through studying, through having all the good qualities that you want to have. And like most people don't realize is like it's once you get into that mode of doing it and feeling the benefits of that fitness, of losing that weight, of lifting the weights, you never want to stop. You know.
And that's the thing, whereas like I think this was going to kind of go into our next topic of the body dysmorphia and stuff like that. That's a true thing too. Like you can almost go so far into the addiction to almost be like, because nowadays the fitness industry is all about who looks the best, looks, that's the biggest thing with the fitness industry. It's all about looks. It's all that subsurface level type stuff, and that can really going from that journey and then looking at all the guys that I've like looked up to throughout the entire journey in the fitness industry is like it can get to the point where you just it can almost become a bad addiction too.
100%, yeah.
It's unachievable.
If you look at I almost like draw it up as a graph. Like for the first like 3 months of lifting, you feel incredible. You feel the best you've ever done, and then you start absorbing more fitness media. You start like following all these people on social media, and next thing you know, it's like I'm nothing. I look like crap, and it almost you dip below that baseline level of how you felt beforehand. And then as you lift, it's almost like this maturity of realizing, hey, these people, great lighting, great pumps, Photoshop. Like people don't realize like. When I put photos on social media, I don't enlarge the muscles, but I'll play around with the contrast. I'll adjust the lighting. I want to look great. And every single if they make money off of fitness, hands down they're doing that, if not actual Photoshop. And being someone who's making money off of it, they're most likely some of the top genetically gifted individuals who are on some of the most crazy drug stacks that anyone can get their hands on. You know, it's something that. Once you obsess about other people's lives, you'll never be happy. You'll never.
Oh yeah, and I think that's where the big thing with kind of the PED realm kind of comes into play, where it's just like it's like SARMs for example. It's unbelievably like the unrealization of the expectations when going on to something like that can be so dramatic. First off, like the first big thing, nobody takes into consideration what the big three things are that come first is sleep, nutrition, actual training intensity. Training intensity.
I was telling Nate that I'm in 5 years into training. At this point, I've already gained most of my natty potential. Just getting sleep down and basic micronutrients, I made more gains in this last year than I made probably in the first two combined. In terms of strength, size, conditioning, well-being, you can't, what's the phrase, you can't put the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
And I know people on the craziest arm stacks that still look like they don't even lift. And I know natties who have stayed away from all that stuff entirely and look almost like they are natty.
You can't replace nutrition and intensity in the workout, and you can't do it without sleep either. And that's where kind of like the SARMs expectation comes in, because they're really easy to get, and they have huge potential upside that everyone usually sells, and it's something where you like you said, you can be on the most craziest SARM stack in the world and not look like anything
because you don't have the intensity to sleep.
Yeah,
the correct workout. Yeah, 100%.
There is some part of it's genetics, but I think genetics is some part of excuse for a lot of people as well too, because excuses about genetics are just, can mostly go away with working hard and training intensity.
Like, anyone can be skinny. Literally anyone. Some people might have a little bit of a harder time based a little bit off of genetics, but it's more if you look at what you can control. Your sleep, your workout intensity, the food that you surround yourself with. It's like you can beat most of that.
That was the biggest thing. Like going back a little bit to the weight loss is like, I probably ate at the start. I ate just as many calories as I probably did before, but I changed it all with clean food. And eating 2,000 calories of actual clean food a day was way harder than obviously eating 2,000 calories or 3,000 calories of junk food. The nutrition part for me was I always say it's 80% nutrition, 20% working out, but you can't have one without the other.
I know probably 20 people off the top of my head that are on various SARMs. Their choice completely. I respect their choice. They made the decision themselves to hop on it. Certainly a thought that I toy with occasionally because, I work at a place that holds them and sells them as well too. And they're very prevalent inside the fitness industry. What people don't understand is the expectations and the actual benefits / side effects that can come from SARMs. Most people glamorize the idea of gaining muscle, but don't really understand the process of it happening when they're on these various SARMs, or the water weight that's gained, the side effects, the muscle gains as well too. It's a very complex subject that deals a lot with the genetics of the individual, what they do on the side, sleep, nutrition, workout intensity, etc. But what can someone expect while on a SARM?
It's really, when it breaks down, it really depends on what one, and obviously all the other different factors when it comes in. Because when you're taking a SARM, you're not only having to deal with the added factors of nutrition, workout, and sleep. You're also throwing in to the hormonal side of things too.
Yeah.
Because SARM stands for selective androgen receptor modulator, which it basically attaches to the receptor of the muscle and bone, and that's kind of how it works. So like starting off like Ostrine, for example. Ostrine is probably the lightest SARM out of all of them, and the biggest thing about it is it's not super duper crazy. Like you can't really expect much when taking Ostrine and any SARM for that matter if you're not doing the proper things first. But like Ostrine, for example, all these SARMs are designed to build muscle. They're designed for muscle wasting diseases, but in a bodybuilding standpoint, they're all designed to build muscle. But each one of them have like different qualities, as I'd like to say. Like Ostrine can be really good for connective tissue. Rad, dry, lean, hard muscle gains. LGD, a little bit of a watery, probably, in my opinion, maybe one of the stronger ones without going like an S23 or YK11 route. It really depends on you, and also just when it comes to PED wise, that's where kind of the genetics kind of come into play as well too, because you're throwing in the workout intensity, the food, the sleep. If they don't have any of that, then the SARM's not going to do anything. So you can't really expect anything. But if you have all of that and your genetics just aren't good at responding to PEDs, you could also be looking at something that just doesn't work out well either.
Yeah.
Because like for Ostrine example, like Ostrine's the lightest one. That's the one that everyone can like dip their toes in water, kind of see what Ostrine does. But 1 out of every 10,000 people have an adverse side effect of Ostrine. Whether that's maybe some gyno buildup. Like I've seen on like Reddit. It also depends on a little bit of the quality of the SARM, making sure that you get a reliable source. But like 1 out of 10,000 people can get like just estrogen side effects.
Yeah.
That's something. There's a lot of things that you can't necessarily, when it comes down to the breakdown of SARMs and how much muscle you build, there's so many different factors and so many different expectations. The biggest thing is you can't expect it to turn you into Superman. So that's kind of
Go into it expecting maybe the bare minimum of results.
Oh yeah,
but the bottom end at least, and then kind of analyzing it.
Yeah.
If someone's trying to avoid any adverse side effects, what would you recommend they do as they take it? Because like you said, you don't know. If you're that 1 out of 10,000, let's say someone they already have training, sleep, etc. down, nutrition down, they understand that. As they take it, what can they do to prevent or mitigate any side effects, or just hold off entirely on them?
The biggest thing would, if you really want to do it like textbook, textbook would be getting your blood work done.
Okay.
Number one, and then getting your blood work done afterwards.
Yeah.
That would be probably like the most like safest route, but not everybody's taking it as a liquid. And so there's no needles involved. And if somebody's scared of needles, like, why would they get their blood work done?
Yeah.
I mean, the blood work needles are massive. And so, like, that's kind of a big thing. If it was perfect, everyone would get their blood work done before and afterwards. And during, it really depends on how your body reacts. If your body, like, I always say taking NAC, NAC, anytime is always really good. There's been some studies. I know Derek More Plates, More Dates has said, I believe in one of his videos, milk thistle might not allow your body to absorb the SARM.
I heard about that. Yeah.
It actually absorb what is it. It flushes out too quickly. So I've always been a big fan of NAC. I've always loved the citrus bergamot Q10. Just as far as just in general, the heart. I think there's a lot of multivitamins out there that not a lot of people take. Fish oil, your basic multivitamins, getting your micronutrients. That side of things is probably the biggest, but as far as like estrogen side effects, there really shouldn't be much estrogen side effects, but if there is, something like arimistane or something like that might be the way to go as well.